Hey YouTube! Welcome to Inktober day number 5. I wanted to draw a moon witch today because it's a full moon tonight. I had a lot of trouble getting started again today, which is why I keep uploading my videos really late. For me it's like 4 a.m. I think I redrew this image 3 or 4 times and just kept erasing. I still had some trouble with placement on the page, but I think it turned out alright. For today's piece, I used Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star India ink, some copic markers for the skin and her dress. For the skin, I used the color Sand and Toast, and then I used some grayish violets and a burgundy color later on. I outlined using a pentel brush pen, and then I decided to try out the pilot fineliner that I did use yesterday, and it ended up bleeding everywhere. In order to avoid that this time, I didn't use any water over it, but I did use copic markers over, which didn't make it bleed, so it's alcohol resistant but not water resistant. I painted this on my fluid 300-pound watercolor paper, cold press, and it actually didn't work too well today. I think because I used marker, I usually really try to avoid using marker on watercolor paper because it just absorbs up all of your ink, but I just tried it today to see if I could use the marker quickly so it wouldn't absorb too much. But it did end up bleeding a little bit, and so did the pilot fineliner, and even the pentel brush pen bled a little bit. So I think in the future I'm going to stick with watercolor on this type of paper and try not to mix mediums too much. I also used my finetec gold mica watercolor palette. I talk about this palette a lot and I go pretty in-depth in my favorite art supplies video, so if you want to know more about that palette, please go watch that video. I used a bit of colored pencil for just some of the pink areas and the tattoo, and I used a uniball signo gel pen in white for some highlights. here is the finished drawing. I do plan on doing a couple more of these witch pinups throughout Inktober. They're definitely my favorite thing to draw because I really try to challenge myself with their poses, doing different angles and thinking how they could practically sit on a broom while also looking nice and dynamic. It's actually a lot harder to come up with than it looks. Hope you guys like watching this as much as I loved painting it. I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye!